Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Movie Night. I am your host, Mr. Knast. Tonight, I am joined by Andrea in my top right-hand corner, and to my left, we got Mr. Sam Simmons. Tonight is Goonies night. Andrea came up with the idea. I jumped on board with it because everybody who knows me knows it's my all-time favorite movie. So I am looking forward to what's in store for this type of program. So yeah, let's get the ball on. Good evening. Hi, everybody.
What's up, everybody?
I am ready. Just got done watching the movie, so it's fresh in my mind.
Fresh on, I think, all of our minds. I think we took the week and made sure we were prepared since we're doing our first really themed movie night. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say, what your thoughts were about the movie, if there were any comments, complaints, anything you might have not liked about the movie. So I'm really interested to see how this goes tonight.
Well, for someone like me, I'm not gonna lie. As a kid, I watched the movie 5-6 times a day, and I'm 35 now, and I still watch the movie at least twice a month. Is that bad?
I mean, I watch Harry Potter, so no, not at all.
I mean, I make sure I don't watch it every month, but I make sure I watch all the Harry Potters at least once a year. I watch all the Lord of the Rings at least once a year, so I don't think it's so bad.
Morgan's referring to there's only one thing I can do to open tonight, and Morgan's been persistent, I could say, all afternoon about me opening the show with a truffle shuffle. She thinks it's a punishment because I cursed on my show last week, so she wants me to do it. Not yet. I will think about it, and maybe before the end of the night, I might surprise people. I'm not trying to get banned 2 weeks after starting my show, though. So that's a wait and see.
Truffle shuffle or an extra $1 into the charity bin.
I'm done.
I mean, if people want to pay to see my goods, I first don't feel like doing it on show.
Every $10 donated into the charity bin equals one truffle shuffle from John.
Okay, you choose another punishment. I'll let Andrew decide on another punishment if he feels it right for me cursing on my show.
Curtis!
Morgan, I might need some suggestions.
Oh, no. That's the last thing I need. My best friend and you plotting against me. Pure evil.
Hello! What up, guys?
So, since you guys watched the movie recently, like I said, it's fresh in my mind 24/7. It would be the best friend silent treatment. Oh, no. She's starting already. But I'm trying to move on. But what was I going to ask? Since you guys watched the movie more recently than I have, what do you guys have to feel about it?
So I actually took notes, but one of the things that I noticed right off the bat is there's no like introductory music. It just starts with the sound of footsteps. You hear the jail cell open, and I kind of thought that was a little bit different because normally movies start like back in the day anyway. The credits were at the beginning of the movie, and it was this long drawn out musical opening while they listed off all the cast and crew, and then it came the opening scene. So I thought that was kind of an interesting take on how to start the film, was let's just start in silence and then cue the footsteps, cue the jail cell, and then you're right into the movie. Like, I thought that was kind of cool. And then not even like maybe 2-3 minutes in, the music starts and then you got the car chase and it's exciting. So I thought that was a really interesting way to start this movie.
Definitely different for the day. But you said, this is the time period where we're transitioning from having the big opening musical numbers and all the credits roll at the beginning to the more modern day. Here's the intro. We'll give you all the credits afterwards. which I don't think is a bad thing. Credit to credit, but there are some movies that the music is just great.
Yeah.
I don't think The Goonies doesn't have the most memorable music score. I mean, there are definitely movie scores from that time period that have more, that are more memorable. But but I think they focus more on the story, and that's just fine.
Yeah, absolutely. We have an honorary Goonie. Apparently, Lou says, "I'm a Goonie. Welcome to the Goonie Squad." I'm dressed for the occasion. My other two hosts, unfortunately, aren't.
I couldn't find a Goonie shirt. Sorry.
King Uno Gamer, what's up? You should have wore that last Friday.
I should have, yeah.
You're 1 week late, but that's okay.
It's all right.
She's making up for it.
There you go. There we go.
Right.
Another thing, and it kind of bothered me, and like I get that they did it because of the truffle shuffle, but why is it when Mouth got to the house, he was able to just go right up to the door, but when Chunk wanted to get into the house, 1, he had to do the truffle shuffle, and then 2, they had to do the contraption to open the gate. Like, why didn't they have to use that contraption to open the gate for Mouth, but they had to use it for Chunk?
I mean, as someone who's seen the movie many, many times, like I've never really picked up on it, but I could understand where you're coming from. I don't know. That really is a good point. Like, unless
I think they did it more like to show Chunk's the playful character, so they're gonna have a playful scene, to open up the gate. So it was just kind of something that I picked up, like, just because, I was watching the movie more so I can take notes and like, oh, well, that was interesting, like Mouth was just able to go right up the door, but Chunk's got to wait until the ball or the marble, whatever it was rolling down, hitting all the little contraptions, and then the gate finally opening.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't that right after the mom had left?
Yeah.
So it could be very logical that she let him through the gate. As she was leaving, he came in.
I didn't even think about it that way. Like, maybe they met up in passing.
Yeah.
Look at Mr. Simmons on the ball. A nice hot take from Mr. Simmons.
And then another thing to go off of that, like following that scene immediately, you got Data, and Data's like my favorite person ever. Like, he's probably my favorite Goonie. He's innovative. He's funny. He's an inventor, but most of his inventions don't work the way that they should. But I thought it was kind of funny when he's doing his little zip line and Mikey screams, the door, and then he goes and opens the door, but they don't even think about opening the screen door. Like, that could have been an all-in-one thing. Open the door, open the screen, Well,
unless they were going to open it and then he just came too quick and they had to have time. Because you think about it, he's on that zip line. By the time they see him, he's actually halfway down the zip.
That's true.
That they probably left that in because comedy.
Yeah, that was one of the first things the mom mentions when she gets home is, oh, Data's here.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah, and then to go back to the beginning again, during the car chase, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but none of the kids saw the car chase but Chunk, and I feel like they purposely didn't because they wanted Chunk to have like this exciting story that he finally saw something and then he's not lying about. Like, I just kind of laughed as like conveniently every single Goonie was occupied in a way that they, 1, didn't hear it, or 2, didn't see it.
Well, Mikey did hear it.
He thought it was his TV.
But he thought it was his TV.
Yeah.
Well, you're my true favorite Goonie, but Data's got to have this one for the movie.
But yeah, Mouth hears it because he turns off the TV, thinks that the sound's coming from the TV still. What was her name? Andy is at cheerleading practice, distracted by them building the victory pyramid.
Data falls in the barrel.
Yeah, Data falls in the barrel, starts crabbing in a barrel for some reason. She's like head over heels in the barrel, crabbing for stuff. And
I can't remember what the other girl, can't remember her name, and I just watched the movie.
Steph.
Yeah, Steph. She was caught off guard as well, but I don't remember what she was doing that made
She was the one that was head over heels in a barrel, like crabbing for something.
Oh yeah, bobbing.
she
Yeah, bobbing for something. Yeah.
Because she flies out and she has a crab in her hand.
Yeah.
And it just like throws it behind her for some reason. It's like I still want to know what exactly was she doing?
Okay.
Like
maybe it was
bobbing for crabs?
maybe it might have been Halloween time. You don't know. Instead of bobbing for apples, hey, we're gonna bob for crabs.
I mean I've
they
never
do live
seen
on the coast.
but like I do know that like fishing for crab and all that is actually very common out there. When I was a kid, we would go along like the shoreline and the coast, and we would actually like hunt for crabs. But I would never say like I've never saw anybody like just go bobbing for a crab, you know.
Well, maybe I'll be the first one to do it. Okay.
Yeah, me and John are actually trying to coordinate for National Goonies Day, a trip down to Astoria, and celebrate on site.
June 7th, 2025. I hope to be in Astoria, Oregon. That will be the 40th anniversary to the day that the movie was released. If I could make that happen, you're going to see the biggest nerd side of me ever come out of my life. I am not going to come home. My house is going to go up for sale. I am moving to Astoria. But besides, like, I'm not going to get into it tonight, but Astoria, Oregon is this rich in movie film history that many people don't know that there's a lot of different type of movies that took place in that town. And a lot of the stuff that was presented in those movies is still there today. So, as a Goonies fan, yes, I want to see the Goonies neighborhood. There's other stuff Goonies related there, but there's also other movie stuff that's still playing it in that town. And if you watch the Goonies, I don't know if you guys caught it or not, the one scene when they're on the porch after Troy's father leaves, how Mikey gets upset, and he runs up and gives Brand a hug. In the distance, you see a building. It's actually the elementary school from the movie Kindergarten Cop that you see in the distance. So that's one of the many Easter eggs that people have noticed over years that they dropped in that movie to help further down the road.
Now, going off of that and a little bit, like talking about Mikey's dad. So what I kind of thought was funny is when the kids leave the house on their bikes, they ride past Mikey's dad. Mikey's dad sees them. So why didn't the dad tell the mom, like, oh, hey, I saw our kids. They're fine, you know, they're riding their bikes. You know what I mean? Like, I always wondered that. Maybe he just didn't go home because I know that he was like vigilantly working hard to save the town. But that was something that also crossed my mind. Like, the mom's home freaking out that her kids are gone and Brand's trying to find them. But Mikey's dad saw them. They're cool. You know, they're out riding their bikes. They're just being kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good take to look at. If I was that reason, oh, my kids are okay. They're all riding the bikes together. They're all together in a group. I'm not going to worry about them not coming home.
Real quick, I'm gonna comment. Lou, you say take you with us, or for John to take you with him. You're closer to Astoria than any of us.
Yeah. You're not lying.
Well, I don't know. It's not that far of a, I mean, it is a far drive for me, but like it's an under a day drive. So I'm curious if me or Lalo would be closer.
Well, Lalo's in Cali, so I mean it's not that far.
Oh, John, go get that comment.
Yeah, it's every single stream. There we go. Got it. I don't know how many times I gotta block this person's comment. I mean, I just gotta go on YouTube later and see if I can just ban them.
Is that where it's coming from? Is YouTube?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
I hope so. It's getting on my nerves. But yeah, move on past that comment. Sorry about that, everybody. Got people that like to troll me. So
No, but going back real quick to some of the other movies that were filmed in Astoria, you already mentioned Kindergarten Cop.
are you curious about the other ones?
Well, and I know me and you have talked about it. Short Circuit.
Yep. Stephanie's house. Well, yep. Stephanie's house is actually still out there. They made it actually a bread and breakfast, and there's actually a plaque on the front gate that says this house was presented in the movie Short Circuit. They have it authenticated and everything.
Nice. And then of course, Kindergarten Cop, Short Circuit, Goonies, Free Willy.
Yep. Free Willy was filmed at the marina down in the heart of town, because there's a channel within the marina itself that they use as the I guess climax scene at the very end when he's running along the channel and sets Willie free. Because there's a channel that separates a recreational beach area to an actual getaway to the ocean. So, and I've also heard, I don't know what list you're looking at, but apparently there's a small smidge of it shown in the first Pirates of the Caribbean too. So,
doesn't surprise me. But I mean, these are just a small list of. There's a huge list that I'm looking at. Everything from of course the popular ones, the Goonies, Into the Wild, Kindergarten Cop, Short Circuit. The movie The Guardian.
That's a newer one.
That's a newer one from 2006. The Ring 2.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Yep.
The Black Stallion, Free Willy 2.
I'm telling you, the history of that town is unmatched.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts. That's why it was also cool that the opening scene of that movie is called The Jail, but now they changed it from a town jail to the Oregon State Film Museum, where you can actually go and see all this stuff in movie memorabilia. Plus, you can actually go in the jail cell itself and reenact the opening scene in the Goonies, which I hope to do one day. That's going to be part of my trip if I go. We have an honorary Goonie, Matt's in the house. Good evening, Matt. Hey, you guys.
Hey, Matt.
So, now, what other notes you got for us, Miss Andrea?
What?
I said, what other notes do you have for us?
How you were talking about that opening scene again in the jail cell. Like, I thought it was kind of funny. Like, the guy, the poor officer's like, come on, let's go, like, get out. And then, the Fratelli brother doesn't come out. So he goes and he's got a note, and, he's just hanging there in the jail cell. And I just like how the cop goes, schmuck. It just made me laugh, like this old man, and he just goes schmuck. I just thought that was kind of like iconic. The guy faked his death and he's able to escape. I mean, if you ask me, like, I think it probably would have been pretty easy to escape that jail. I mean, he easily runs out. They're not chasing him. Like, I mean, they are, but they aren't. And then you see Mama Fratelli, my favorite of the Fratellis. She's like, come on, get in the vehicle. Like, iconic. Like, I just love Mama Fratelli. Like, I know she's a bad person, but like, I just loved her character, and the actress did a wonderful job.
Anne Ramsey. R.I.P. She's one of the two original Goonies who have passed away since the movie came out. So, unfortunately, she won't be around for the cast reunion and all that stuff. But they still remember her as Mama Fratelli, that's for sure. So,
what about you, Sam? You got any other comments regarding like the beginning of the movie? And then we'll cover like when they leave on their bikes or whatever.
Not the beginning of the movie.
No, can I say one thing? Since I'll wait till Sam's done, but go ahead.
Oh no, I'm good.
No, all I'm going to say about the beginning of the movie that it's kind of weird and suspicious in a weird way. So he's breaking out of the jail cell. You only see the one prison guard. Okay, but then he jumps into the car, and about 4 or 5 of them come running from the station. Like,
right. Where did they come from?
yeah,
I questioned that too, but then I was like, well, maybe the one guard was like just escorting them because I think they were going to breakfast or something, and then the others were like in the hall.
But I'm just saying, you see them escape. Like, why don't you see any other cops in that sequence? That's all. And that's coming from someone who's watched the movie 100 times. So
yeah.
You're talking when he's walking out of jail. Like, how did he manage to walk from his cell and out the door without being stopped by some other cop?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. They make it seem like his cell is here and like the door is here.
Right.
Like it was right around the corner. But I highly doubt most prisons are not like that.
That building's really small in real life, so I could maybe see that. Till you see it in person, though, you don't know. So everyone wants me to do the truffle shuffle. Now Lalo's getting in the mix. I'm not doing the truffle shuffle just yet. If you stay long, maybe you'll get lucky. But if you want to see it, you gotta donate. Lalo said I would have dug a tunnel to get out.
Using only a spoon, right, Lalo?
The spork. Moving past the beginning, what else you got?
When Chunk breaks the little statue, and Mikey goes, "That's my mom's favorite part."
My mom's favorite piece.
Yeah. And then Mouth makes the comment of, "Well, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't." Like, oh, I couldn't believe it. Like, those kids, like, I don't know. Does it ever say like how old they are? I mean, they got to be like what, middle school?
Yeah, they looked anywhere between 12 and like 14, and the older kids were probably sophomores, juniors in high school.
We know Brand's old enough to drive because they mentioned in the beginning that he failed his driver's test. And
yeah, so I imagine he's probably 15, 16.
Well, what's Oregon state law? I never looked it up, but
I think it's 16. But I could be lying. I mean, it was the 80s, so
who knows back then?
Yeah, it could have been different.
I mean, back in the 80s, you could go to a beer at 18 and have a drink. So, thanks to all the Y generation people for ruining us younger folks to wait till 21. So,
well, and then the latest generation ruined cigarettes for 18-year-olds. Now you can't smoke till you're 21. It's not here in Texas.
That's the same way here in New Jersey too. So,
but hey, New York ruined it for everybody. You have to be 18 to buy whipped cream now.
Weird, but
like
just in New York or like
in New York they passed a law that you have to be 18 to buy whipped cream. But anyway, off topic.
Yeah. Well, going off Andrew's whole thing about the mom's favorite piece and all that, I always crack up when he's like shoving his mouth with chip. It's like your mom's gonna notice, like, and then she walks back in the house, and the first thing she notices is the crumbs on the floor. You don't see them all like hiding something. Like you see crumbs. Like, what the hell is that? Like she gets all defensive about having crumbs on the floor.
Right.
But you never find out if she notices if the statue is actually broken or not.
That we don't.
So
poor Lou.
I got ID for a Sharpie marker. Wow. I don't want to know. Oh shit! What?
So, if you guys were in possession of a treasure map and you had like a reliable source that it's a legit treasure map, it'll take you to money or treasure or whatever, do you guys think you would embark on that adventure, or do you think you would just kind of shrug it off and be like, whatever?
I think for me it would depend on the history. Is it one of those like well-known like historical shipwrecks or something like that, or is it not well known? if it was one of me being the history guy that I am, if they said, "Oh, we found a treasure map to, John Paul Jones or something like that," I'd be, "Oh, that let's go." Me being the history buff that I am. Now, if it was we found a treasure map that some random pirate Freckles left behind. I'm a little bit, whatever. Pirate Freckles can keep his treasure.
Matthew.
Matt's picking on you, Sam. I mean, depending on what age I was, if I was around Mikey and all those ages, yeah. As a kid like that, you always want to go on an adventure, so why not?
And to kind of go off of that, have you guys seen the movie Without a Paddle?
A long time ago.
With Matthew Lillard.
Yeah. Seth Green's in that too, ain't he?
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Lillard.
Oh, man. Sam has a man crush.
Best Shaggy ever.
I'm sorry. Only Shaggy only. Go ahead.
Only live action Shaggy. No, there are at least 2 live action Shaggies.
All right, well, let Andrew go on.
Anyway, that just basing off of what I go on adventure, you compare the 2 movies, like the Goonies, they're younger kids. Without a Paddle, they're young adults. And I say young adults because they're obviously in their 20s, they're just figuring out life. If I were to find a treasure map, I kind of probably would just shrug it off and be like, oh well, because the chances of you actually finding the treasure are pretty slim. You can have a map and it can say, oh, you can find it here, but it depends how much time has passed that actual location is true, because a flood can move it around, landslide buried it, you just have a very slim chance of actually finding the treasure. So for me, I would probably pass and be like, well, that's cool, awesome, I found it. And I would probably just display the map or sell it to a collector.
Yeah, but if you had a group of friends go and they drug you in, would you still go or not?
If I had a group of friends to go, I probably would join them. I think that would be fun to experience, but just to go by myself, no.
Yeah, but if you're in the pack of how the Goonies were in a pack, they were always going to join you, correct?
I'll go.
So, Matt's asking about octopus or no octopus. We will address that later in the movie. That's sort of the end of it, but I'll go back to that because a lot of people probably don't know what that is. So.
All right. Mommy. Oh, hold on. My kids are coming.
We got a kid interruption. So after finding them there's other stuff that they find in that attic that is pretty mind blowing, and then you have Mouth destroying the famous painting and all of that. How do you react if someone like that destroys history and destroys a painting that famous?
Right. And I'm curious, do you think that his dad saw that painting and freaked out, oh my gosh, it's ruined? Or do you think that's the least of his worries because hooray, the town's saved, we'll worry about that later? Or he's crap, historical documentation has just been ruined?
I mean, I'm sure you're mad at first, but then when you realize that your kids have gone missing, that becomes off to the side a little bit, and now you're shifting to worrying about where your kids are and stuff like that. But not once did the parents ever really report the kids missing anyway.
Right.
Well, obviously they did, because they all show up at the end of the movie freaking out, going, "Oh, it's our kids."
But you don't actually see the parents throughout the movie.
Yeah,
worry about the kids.
Right, and then the scene where Chunk actually finally gets a hold of the cops, he doesn't seem worried at all that oh, it's one of the missing kids. So it's like you said, did they actually get reported missing?
Yeah.
Well, it had only been one day. It hadn't even been 24 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's going back to what we said earlier, because his dad saw him. He saw him all together. So. I guess that's another reason why you don't get paranoid, because you know they're all in a group together. So
Yeah, and we are talking back in
80s,
the
small
80s.
town Oregon.
Yeah, back in the 80s, in any town, that was what you did. You went outside and you played because that's what was normal. They didn't have the video games and the TV that we do nowadays.
I mean, I kind of miss being a kid for just that reason, like being able to just say, "Hey, I'm hopping on my bike and I'm going out with a group of friends." Like, see you later.
Matthew, to answer your question, would you keep the treasure or give it away? Now that I have like a family, I would probably keep the treasure and make sure like I invest it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a way that you could either, I would keep it hands down. Like, I found treasure. Like, I'm rich. I'm gonna keep this, and now my family's wealthy for the rest of my life.
Oh, I would. Once again, I think it depends on what the historical significance to said treasure is.
That's fair.
To me, once again, as the historian that I am, to me, it's what historical significance does this treasure? If it's just a whole bunch of gold doubloons and emeralds and gems, keep it, sell them to make money, invest it, whatnot, that type of thing. But if we're talking, finding a treasure of, somebody specific from history, once again, it's, okay, that's significantly historic, and I want to share that with the world.
And honestly, you would probably be paid for your contribution, and that might be enough to be like, I don't mind donating it,
Well, I'll have to see if I can find the actual article that I shared with my friend a couple years ago. There's actually an article about the ship that is buried out in Oregon, like the Pacific Northwest. That is actually the ship that's based the Goonies is based off of. It's actually a real shipwreck out there based like that. They used for the movie. Now,
Nice.
in an actual cave, I don't think so. But if I can find the article, I'll show it with you guys. It's pretty interesting. All right, so now can we get a Marry Kiss Kill? Can we get a Marry Kiss Kill? What do you mean, Matt?
Who would you marry? Who would you kiss? And who would you kill?
What if I found treasure?
I wonder if he's referring to like, what to the Goonies would you marry, kiss, and kill?
Oh, okay. Well, considering half the Goonies are guys, that's kind of bad.
Well, seeing how there's 5 women in that entire movie.
Well, yeah.
There's Anne, Steph, Mama Fertoli, and his mom and Rosalita.
Rosalita.
So, I mean, there's only 5 to choose from.
Matt says he would marry Mama Fertoli, kiss Squad, and kill Rosalita.
I would probably marry Data and kiss Mikey and kill the opera Fertelli brother.
Oh, the Jake.
Yeah.
Oh, you see him.
I think I'd probably go Anne, Steph, Rosalita.
Anne? Who's Anne? Who's Anne?
Andy.
Oh, Andy, okay. Yeah, Andy's definitely one that you will marry. I don't know. Kiss is a hard one. And then kill, because he's always destroying stuff and stuff like that. I'd probably have to kill Chunk. Sorry.
I respect that.
Chunk.
Unless he gives me Rocky Road ice cream, then I'll let him live.
Sloth love Chunk.
But the kiss part aspect of it, I don't know. I would have to think about
You
that.
know it's Rosalita, John.
As I hide all the drugs in the closet and stuff. You're right. I'm sorry.
No, in the drawers.
What you did to Morgan Johnny? I did nothing. Morgan was harassing me at the beginning of the show about doing the truffle shuffle. I said no, so she was thinking of another punishment. So she just said she's going to give me the best friend silent treatment. She hasn't said nothing since. So Kevin, I did nothing wrong. I defended my show. Okay. I'm not doing the truffle shuffle yet. You guys want to see me do the truffle shuffle so bad? Donate. There you go. Moving on.
If we reach $100 by the end of the night, John will give you a truffle shuffle as we sign off.
You gotta do. I'm not doing it, Matt. Andrew, no. What's next in your notes?
Well, Matthew brought in an interesting. Chunk was wearing the same yellow shirt as the nerdy guy in Jurassic Park. Which nerdy guy?
He's probably talking about Dennis.
Yeah. Well, that's there. Are you talking about the one who like sold out everybody and pretty much let all the dinosaurs go? That guy?
Yeah, Dennis.
Lou, donate where?
To my inbox, Lou. I got Facebook Pay. Okay, so what's next? So we talked about what would you do if you found a treasure map. Okay, so now we get into the interesting aspect of the movie, the treasure hunt. I know it's the 80s, but let's talk about their bikes. I love that Chunk's got like the reflective flag. He's got the bright orange seat. And then their first thought is, oh, we got to let the air out of Brand's tires. You know, like I would have never thought about that. Like that would have been the last thing on my mind. I would have been like, let's just go, you know. And then you got Brand who finally catches up. He's on a little girl's bike that he just takes from the little girl, you know. I just thought it was kind of funny.
Well, the thing about Brad's bike is you see them take off the little screw caps, but that's it.
Right.
I'm like, so how did they actually release the air from the tires?
I want to say back in the day, the caps were what kept the air in. So once you took the caps off, they were actually released. Because I do remember I had a bike when I was a young kid that we had to keep the caps on or the air would just come out of the tire.
Yeah, my bike was the same way growing up, so.
Mine weren't.
Hi, Kelsey.
Yeah, because in the motor. Good evening, Kelsey.
Now, if you were the teenagers and you guys were like the jocks and popular kids, would you do what they did to Brand, what Troy did to Brand? Would you grab his hand and go 45 while he's on a bike and then practically drive him off a cliff? Like, would you guys do that to show off in front of your wannabe girlfriends? Like,
no, not at all. I think that seems so messed up, but
I want to know how he survived. Like, that's legit a cliff. Like, I'm sorry. If you were to go 45 miles an hour on a little trike, training wheels and all, and you just fly off a cliff, there ain't no way you're walking away with that with just a scratch on your face.
Yeah. Unless the hill is not as big as they make it seem.
Which that's definitely a possibility. I mean, the way that we see it, it's like a legit cliff, you know, like he's flying out on, you know.
Unless he has special ET powers back in the day. So it is a Steven Spielberg movie after all, so maybe that's how ET learned how to fly is from that movie.
Maybe.
Matt saying he would do it. I knew Matt would say he would do it.
I'm not surprised. That does not surprise me in the slightest that Matt would drive 45 while holding on to some poor person's bike.
Yep. Matt's a jerk.
And then I want to know how Andy and Steph find them, because she says they followed them, but they were with Troy in the car. So do you think Andy and Steph just went back to where Brand crashed, and they're like, oh, let's just walk over here. They've got to be around here somewhere.
That's possible. I mean, yeah, they don't really explain that whole situation, not even in deleted scenes.
Mm.
So you don't know how they wind up finding him. So I don't know. That's a mind-boggling one, because all of a sudden, like, Brand shows up and here comes Andy and Steph, like 2 steps behind him.
Right. Like, and I always wondered how Brand finds them, because Brand didn't know where they went. He didn't know where the treasure map led. He didn't know, like, oh, the key is the rocks on the shoreline, and then you got to go 100 paces, like.
Mm-hmm.
Brand just magically finds the restaurant, and he's like, oh, hey, I found you guys.
Yeah, because you're right, because the 3 of them are ones that are lining up to the bloom on the shoreline, and Brand's nowhere in that scene. So
right.
I don't know. Very interesting. You're right.
Now, if you were in their situation and you see that abandoned restaurant building, and like Chunk mentions it, and he goes, I'm getting some weird vibes, like, I don't feel safe here, I don't think we should go in. Now, would you guys go in? Like, I mean, yeah, obviously, we're on a treasure hunt, but would you go in having heard those gunshots? And one of my notes say, I dropped Pan. There's no way that that's gonna sound like a gunshot. Like, I'm sorry, there's no way.
I mean, you don't want to say it's a gunshot, but it's a gunshot. But like, if I'm on the adventure and I have to go in that building, yeah, you got to go in. You have to go investigate.
You kind of do.
So,
but at the same time, they also make reference to that's a summer place, because they said, oh, 2 customers just walked in, and they're like, this is a summer place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that it's abandoned. It seems like it's just closed for the season.
Right. And I want to know, so 2 people walk in, and they're dragging one of the bodies out. And I like how the kids are like, say, what do you suppose is underneath that sheet? And they're like, oh, it's got to be like frozen pizza or something. Like, y'all just heard a gunshot. You guys just saw 2 people walk in. Like, I know they're kids and they're probably making light of the situation, but like, why didn't one of them just straight up say, yo, that's a body bag?
yeah. I mean, also going off that, like, only one of them, it seems like, was shot. Where'd the second one go?
I apologize. My daughter is needy tonight.
Exactly. But yeah, just there's another thing you think about. You see 2 people walk in. Where's the second person go?
Right, and and I think about that, and I'm like, there's no way that the second person is the guy in the freezer, because you look at the condition of that guy's body. He's been in that freezer for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a fresh, oh, we just killed this guy. But then I wonder, were they maybe dragging 2 bodies out under that sheet? Like, there is that possibility, but I have my doubts that it was just one person.
Gotcha. What do you think, Sam?
I mean, it is possible that there is a second body, but it could have been that they shot the same guy twice.
Yeah. Because even in the back, later in that sequence later at night, you only see the one in the back in the truck.
Yeah. So I think that there were only the 2 dead bodies: the one that was in the trunk and the one that was in the freezer.
Okay.
That's my thought. Because my feeling is that I would not. Me personally, if I was shooting somebody, I'm gonna I'm gonna go zombie land, and I'm gonna use that rule: double tap.
I mean, I'm kind of kicking myself right now because I actually have a coffee mug that says Patelli Family Restaurant. I meant to bring it upstairs with me, but unless you guys want me to go grab it real quick, I'll just cut my camera real quick and go grab it. It's up to you guys.
Oh, go grab it. Go grab that.
I'll be right back.
The Fratelli Family Restaurant. We got to have that one.
It's a must.
That is a must. Like, but yeah. But I think going into the restaurant, I still think even if you hear, what would clearly be, even if you've never heard a gunshot, you know a gunshot when you hear a gunshot.
Right.
Like that's all there is to it. Because they're kind of just very distinguishable. And so, and then when you see, two people coming out holding, oh, I wonder what's under there. So you just hear two big bangs.
Right.
And now you see two guys coming out holding something under a sheet.
Right. And it's like I mentioned, like I get that they're kids and they're probably just trying to make light of the situation, but it did make me laugh that they're like, oh, it's got to be frozen pizza or whatever it was that they were saying, and not one of them said that's the guy, Nice.
And you can't really read it, but at the bottom of it says, "We're the only place we serve is tongue."
Nice.
Okay, now here's something I've wondered. So they go in, and the Fratellis see them. Mama Fratelli makes them sit. They serve them the brown water. And my question is, why didn't Mama Fratelli just kick them out right away? Instead of, oh, we're going to have them sit here, stew a little bit, scare them. Instead, she's like, oh, yeah, Mikey, you can go downstairs and go to the bathroom, when, like, she clearly knows that he's not going downstairs to go to the bathroom.
I mean...
if it was me and I was the Goonies and I ran into the Fratellis, granted, they don't know who they are yet because they haven't seen the wanted poster. They haven't had time to process, like, oh, crap, I know who these people are. But if it was me and I was a Goonie and I was in the restaurant and I was approached by these individuals, I would probably just run and not look back and be like, nice knowing you guys. Sorry, like, it ends here. I don't want to die tonight.
It's every man for himself.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I did think it was very brave of Mikey to say, hey, like, can I go downstairs and go to the bathroom? Like, he probably really did need to go to the bathroom at that time, but clearly he wanted to go downstairs and investigate the noise that he heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, it's not just a noise. He's convinced at this point that, oh, the treasure is underneath here. So I think part of it was to investigate, see if you could find the treasure.
Oh, for sure.
Does this count? I'm doing the truffle. Does this count? I pulled up the clip on YouTube. Probably doesn't, but
no, because that's still Chunk doing the truffle, not you, John.
But Chunk's better looking than I am.
And Morgan says no.
Lalo, to answer your question, I'm doing all right. I'm tired. How are you doing? And Morgan, to answer yours, John is going crazy.
I am. So, all right. So now we, I guess, presume entering the whole downstairs area, right?
Yeah. So they just had their run-in with the Fratellis. They leave. The Fratellis leave, to go dump the body, and now the kids are downstairs. They're snooping. What would you guys do in that situation? You're downstairs. You don't know what you're looking for. Do you guys lose hope now? And you're like, obviously, this is where it ends. Or do you guys keep pushing like the Goonies did and trying to find that clue hidden in that room?
I think it depends on how far in you are. Maybe the first or second time, I'm like, I'm gonna be going. No, let's we just started. We could find something. Let's keep going.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that when I'm most likely to quit, maybe might have been, along the lines of that fourth or fifth time. They're like, well, we should go back.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, then you get to the point, oh, well, we've come this far. Might as well keep going.
Might as well. For sure. And I'm that way too. Like, it's like, oh, they're just starting their search. They haven't gotten very far. The one, they don't know what they're looking for, and two, like, they have time, obviously. So it's like they're not underground. They're just in some restaurant downstairs. I think I personally would keep pushing on, especially because the Fratellis, like, I'd be scared. Oh, are they going to come back? Like, let's try to find a way to get out of here so we don't have to have another run-in with these individuals.
Yeah.
Good way to look at it. I would definitely keep going myself. But I'm with my friend. We're on the venture. Like, I'm not quitting.
And then one of my notes I had was, Chunks in the freezer. He's digging for ice cream. How did he not see that body in the freezer? Like, he didn't see it until he saw the reaction on the Goonies' faces. Like, how was that not the first thing? I mean, I'll admit, like, when he opens the freezer, that wasn't the first thing I saw. I saw the ice cream. And then, and I think that the way that they did the camera angle, they made it to be that way, where your eyes went to the ice cream, not to the dead body.
No, it's definitely a good way to look at it. Like, you're not going to give it away right away. You want to build up the suspense in the type of way, and that's what they did by just showing the ice cream. Like, you don't know anybody else is in that freezer till 2 minutes into that scene.
Mm.
So, well, I mean, we are talking about a fat kid and ice cream.
Mm.
Like, I'm not trying to say it meanly, but we are talking about a fat kid and ice cream. You see how excited he gets. He starts naming off all the flavors, and by the time he turns around, he has like 4 little pints of ice cream.
Right.
And so,
and I mean, it is dinner time, and he does mention, like, hey, we're all hungry. Like, it makes you wonder, how long have they actually been out? Because, like, in movie time, it's been like a whole 5 minutes, but in, like, real lifespan, they've been going at it for 3-4 hours now, probably.
Yeah. And that's what Trunk wants in that movie, is food. So,
should they make a sequel?
No, absolutely not.
For what reason?
Like,
no, that's my way of saying, no. Why?
The only way I could see them ever making a sequel is if the remaining cast agrees to come back. Okay, but now they're older. They played a parent's role in this movie, and now you have a new batch of kids. That's the only way I would ever see them doing a sequel. But all the different aspects of it and all that they've talked about for years and years, no.
I agree with you.
It just wouldn't make sense.
Right.
Hey, Mr. Russo is joining us.
I mean, if they don't make a sequel, maybe they can do a remake with the way the technology is.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, that's not working.
We hear you, but we just don't see you.
Like, could you imagine a 2022 Goonies remake? With today's technology, obviously a new cast, maybe some of the original actors could be brought in to be like the parents. That way we can keep some of the original cast.
Yeah, and if they want to do something like that, I'm all for it. But in the years past, when they would talk about trying to make a sequel, they would talk about redoing the whole entire cast.
Right.
You can't do that. These people have now been instilled in people's mind as the Goonies.
Right.
And now you're going to redo a whole entire movie and take all of them out and bring a whole new cast. It wouldn't go right.
That's a reboot. That's not a sequel.
But in
my mind, that's a reboot, not a sequel. So if they, like you guys were saying, if they were to make a role, make them like the parents role. Maybe now we have, Mouth, Data, Mikey, Bran. They're all adults and they're all parents. And then you have Troy. Now Troy's the one trying to buy. He's the rich guy trying to buy the city to build his golf course, trying to get revenge on the Goonies. 40 years later.
See, I could see that as a sequel, like that working as a sequel. But like how John was talking, they were talking about making a Goonies 2 but recasting everybody. And I don't think that's success for a sequel. If you want a sequel,
No.
you need to have the original cast, or as much as the original cast as you can. Because, I'm sure, as John was saying, 2 of the original cast have passed on. Like, I don't know if they would have been around to be in a sequel. But no, I do not think that they should make a sequel unless they do a remake.
So, and Lalo wants to know what treasure would they be looking for. Like, there's plenty of shipwrecks in this country. Like, I'm sure you could come up with something or another. Or maybe they're going back after to get the rest of One-Eyed Willie's. They find out where that ship wound up going, and now they're going to try to go find that.
Mm.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, like there is a question, and I mean, you could always find treasure,
Right.
But and it doesn't necessarily have to be a treasure,
Yeah, it's true.
So, but I mean, I just don't see there a reason other than that, a reason for a sequel.
Mm. All right, so to go back to talk, so Chunks got his ice cream. We see the dead body, and we hear that the Fratellis are back. What would you guys do? Would you guys try to run knowing that the only way out is back upstairs? Or would you guys try to find somewhere to hide downstairs?
I find somewhere to hide. I'm not ready to give up or be found yet, so I'm trying to find somewhere to hide.
Probably hide. Matt, which comment?
I don't know.
Doesn't say.
I don't know. Good question.
Okay, so they find the entrance to the cave because Chunks of klutz. Something I wrote down was Mikey mentions, "Do you hear that? It's deep." I didn't hear like the water going down. I heard like the air and I heard like the water flowing, but I didn't hear that like, oh, he's hearing the water drip down and he can hear it hit the bottom. So he's like, there's a passage and it's deep and it's underneath the fireplace. Like, I would have never have thought, oh, the entrance is right there.
No, you don't know that it's right there, but like you go off a hunch because you hear how far down it goes. Like, oh, that's the way out because like you don't hear where it actually lands. Now, if it was just like a drop forward in there, you would hear it hit the floor. Okay, that's not it. But the fact that you hear it like echoing down farther and farther, like, okay, that's where we got to go.
Right, and I think maybe it's just because like we're not there in person, so like just watching it in the movie, you don't hear it. Yeah. So I kind of thought that was interesting. Like, oh, Mikey is able to hear the pitter patter of the water going down the hole, and here I'm just hearing like running water. Like, I would have never thought, oh. What up, Mike?
What up? What up, everybody?
Still don't see you, but we hear your voice.
That's because I'm eating.
Oh, okay.
What you eating?
I'm eating a Wawa turkey bowl.
Right on. Sam had a turducken.
I love it. It's
no. I had jambalaya, but apparently I could find
stuffing, chicken,
turducken.
I'm eating candy corn.
Yeah.
Turducken. That was something that John Madden made up.
So.
Well, you've joined at a good point in the movie, Mike. The kids have just found the entrance to the cave, or whatever it is where they're at.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys hear me all right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you find the hole. Would you be the first to go down?
So I find the
I don't
hole.
think
PG, guys, PG.
I would not be the guy. I would not be like Bran. You know, I would not be the one to like throw my foot down there and like smash the boards. Okay, let's get down there.
Yeah, I do it.
I
Not
mean,
surprised.
Brad's only doing it because he's trying to impress Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't be the first one to go down because you don't know what's there. You know, it's unknown. You know, are you going to fall straight through? You know, I don't do bugs. Like, there's going to be bugs, you know? Like,
Mhm.
somebody else can go down before me. I'll go maybe second, but I won't go first.
No, I'm
Why?
a
You
follower.
don't like bugs?
Oh, I don't do bugs of any kind.
I only do bugs when I have to.
I tolerate them.
Oh, and like, so when they open up the hatch, you know, like the bats fly out. I don't know that I can do that either. Like, I have the weirdest fears. Like, I have an irrational fear of bugs and things that fly. So I don't do birds. I don't do bats.
You take
You
plane
know,
rides?
like what?
Do you take plane rides?
I have been on a plane once.
There we go.
But no, like just things that fly. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just I've ever since I was a kid, birds, bats, bugs, like I can't do it. You know, like I freak out. Like, we were at the aquarium and my daughter wanted to go in the bird exhibit and feed the birds, and I'm like, you can go do that by yourself. I'll watch. Like, mom ain't going nowhere near the birds. So
Okay.
no, so I would not, like I said, I would not be the first one down there because like you got the bats flying out, you got the, you know, you got spider webs everywhere. Like, that could be somebody else's problem. I'll go behind, you know, I'll be the second one because you don't want to be the last one because you don't want to get like the residue, you know. Like, I'll just be the second one.
No, I'll be middle of the row, but Curtis is saying he'd be the first one down. He likes to be in a leader, so
Now,
I'll follow
what
you
is-
down, Curtis.
what is this bullshit here? Oh, great, another quarter.
It's like we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
All right.
So, like I said in the chat, the only one I reported was the YouTube one. So someone's out to get mad, I guess, and I apologize. I didn't do it. So, Curtis dropping the coins for you, Mike. There you go.
Thanks. Right, too.
So,
Now, I laughed when they get down there and they can't see anything. And the first thing that happens to Steph is she loses her glasses, and you just get Scooby-Doo vibes. I can't find my glasses. And then Mikey steps on her glasses.
Yo, Morgan, what's up? What do you need my help with?
Mike, they've been trying to get me to do the truffle shuffle since we started the live show, and since I'm not doing it, I'm getting the best friend silent treatment from Morgan on my own show until I do the truffle shuffle.
I can shake my man tits and all that.
I am not trying to get banned, Mike.
What? My boobs are full of chocolate milk. What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
Come
PG,
on.
Mike, PG.
What? It's chocolate milk. I'm sorry.
I told them if they wanted to see me do the truffle shuffle to donate to the cause that we're doing this month.
I
so.
gotta watch the movie. I forget how the truffle shuffle goes.
I tried to put it up on YouTube. Apparently that doesn't count, so I just put my phone away.
Okay.
Okay, so now all the kids are down. You know, the first thing you hear Mikey say is, "Wait, where's Chunk?" How did they forget that Chunk dragged the dead body back into the freezer and they shut Chunk and the body in the freezer? Like, how did they forget? Like, hey, where's Chunk? Oh, well, duh, Chunk's in the freezer.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Chunk.
I could do it
Yeah.
on the opposite side. As
They-
they're pushing, all they see is the dead body. So they're
Mm,
pushing it, and Chunk's behind them.
right.
John, ask
What?
my wife to do the Goonie thing to me. She loves to bend my one ear and go, Rocky Road. She loves to do that to me. Horrible.
Only to you.
Exactly.
No one touches my use for me. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're at the freezer thing. That's where we're at right now.
So they're in the cave.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so they just got down to the cave, and none of
Then
them.
they see all these.
And like they didn't think about bringing flashlights. Like they leave the house. You know, it's the middle of the day. Like they're going on a treasure hunt. Why wouldn't they have thought to bring flashlights?
Well,
Yeah,
they
that's-
probably would have had they had time to sit there and pack everything. But remember, they just had to run out and go.
That is fair. That is true. And I
Yeah.
love how Data's like, "Oh, I have flashlights," and they last all but 2 seconds. And he goes, "That's right. The batteries don't last long."
I remember that.
And then Mikey
guys,
makes
we
the
have to charge
comment
the money.
of, and then Mikey goes, "Oh, I see light. You know, let's follow the light. That might be the way out." Like, I think that's very wise. Yeah, you see light, follow it.
Yep.
Yeah. Not knowing that it's another part of the cave, but
No, Andrew's right.
And then not long after that, they start seeing like human remains, and they find the guy, and I don't remember his name, and I hate that I don't remember his name because I just
Copperpot.
watched the movie. Yeah, Copperpot. So they find him,
Just
and I love that nobody believes that it's him. And then Mikey's like, "I found a wallet," you know, like, "Hey, let's check his ID." And then they're like, "Oh, it is Copperpot." Like,
but how can you tell that wallet apparently been down there for centuries?
you're not wrong. Like, it could have been anybody, you know, because all they know is Copperpot went looking for the treasure, and they did make the point of nobody ever saw him again.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how they find the sticks of dynamite and they go, "Oh, candles!" Like, do y'all not know how to read? It says dynamite on the side of those sticks. Like,
Well, when you first pick it up there, you don't see the word dynamite until you actually spin it.
until they turn it up.
In their
And
defense.
and
their
also
kids.
in their defense, like, that's probably the least of their worries. Like, they're underground in the cave. They don't know where they are. Now they're worried about finding a way out.
True.
I do like how Data's first instinct, though, is we need to set booby traps. The Fratellis could be following us at any minute. You know, I love that was the first thing that came across Data's mind was, I better
Andrea.
protect my friends.
Andrew,
What's up?
who played the lead villain in that?
Mama Fratelli?
Yeah, that played the kid. I was trying to chase them down and all that. Remember, he won't help him up or whatever.
Oh, Troy.
Yeah, who plays that character?
John, do you know who plays Troy?
Not off the top of my head, I can look real quick if you want.
I have a pulled up.
Okay. I'm just trying to get rid of this guy somehow on YouTube.
Hold on.
Steve Anton.
Steve Anton. What's he
Okay.
called?
That's who plays Troy Perkins.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. 'Cause I forgot.
Okay, so they find Copperpot's body. You know, Data is doing his booby trap thing. Mikey finds a random string in the sand. Why would you touch it? You know there's already booby traps because it was written that One-Eyed Willie laid traps. So you find a random freaking string in the sand. Why are you pulling it? Why are you pulling it out of the sand? Leave it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're kids?
Yeah.
It's true.
And you know they had to do the Indiana Jones feel. You know, I mean, you've got Short Round after all.
Very
Now,
true.
was that movie? Did that movie come out before he played Short Round or after?
That I actually don't know. Goonies came out in 1985,
Yep.
and sorry, I'm pulling it up. Indiana Jones came out in 1984, so the year before.
Well, which Indiana Jones came out? The one where he had Short Round or the
Temple
first
of
one?
Temple of Doom.
Yeah, that was short round. Okay.
I have a question for you guys.
Good.
Since you mentioned the second Raiders movie,
Mhm.
I have a question for everybody. What did that movie change permanently about movies overall?
I don't know. It's been a while since I watched Indiana Jones, so
No, the second movie. What happened after the second movie to change the film industry forever?
The booby trap thing? I don't know. That was just a guess.
No, I meant like what it changed about the movie industry outside. That was the birth of the PG-13 era.
Oh,
interesting.
that's a good little tidbit.
Sorry, I just wanted to throw that bit of trivia.
No,
in, that's all.
I like that.
Sorry, back on point. I'm sorry,
You're
Andrew.
good. You're good. You don't apologize. John's the one who really should be running the show. The Goonies is his movie.
Yeah,
he's-
but you had. I'm liking your notes though, so I'm giving my take as you read your notes.
Honestly, like this is as far as the notes got because I got too tired of taking notes. But I mean, I did finish the movie. I just got tired of taking notes.
John, I'll just show. John's texted me that the movie started in 1979. He also said that
Wait a minute.
Harrison Ford played Chunk. All this other stuff that's not true.
You're lying.
I did read an interesting tidbit about the Goonies that it only took 5 months to film the movie. And I thought that was really interesting because you see movies in production for years. And the Goonies was able to produce a spectacular movie in just 5 months.
Well, produce the movie, or was it just film the movie?
I think it was just filmed in 5 months.
That's not quite as surprising. Now, if you're telling me they completely produced from start to finish in 5 months, that's just absolutely amazing. But if it's just film, that sounds about reasonable.
But also keep in mind too, the Goonies was actually filmed in like 2 different locations.
Yeah.
Most of it was filmed in Astoria, and then the other part of it was filmed in Canyon Beach in California. So you only really have 2 film locations. Plus the set. So it's not like you're traveling from place to place like a lot of these movies are made nowadays.
Oh, Mike's on the beach.
Yep, on the beach. Chilling.
Gotta teach him how to surf one of these days.
Do you know how to surf?
No.
It's like if anybody knows how to surf, hit me up because I've always wanted to learn.
I do not surf. I'm almost drowning just hearing about the water.
John, when we go up to Oregon, that'll be like on our bucket list of things to do.
Sounds good.
Wait. Sam Simmons is headed to where Andrea is?
No, I am.
John is.
Yep. June 7th, 2025, man. I will be in Astoria, Oregon for the 40th anniversary of the Goonies. You can mark the calendar.
Sweet.
So.
Still another 3 years, so.
We got time.
Wait, 3 years?
2025.
Why are you going for the anniversary of the Goonies?
Yeah, it's the 40th anniversary in 2025.
Oh, okay. Got it now.
Yep.
Hey, people in the stream, why you guys stop commenting? Comment with the.
Well,
Morgan's giving the silent treatment.
Yeah, Morgan's giving me the silent treatment because I want to do truffle. Matt's mad because one of his comments got reported. So if he says what he said again, he gets banned. So
wait, the Facebook warned him?
I don't know. Yes, Morgan has a valid reason for not talking because I won't do the truffle shuffle.
Morgan,
Morgan.
You can comment and talk to me and Mike, but John cannot read the comments.
There you go. There you go. I can't even see him, so I turned them off.
Okay.
We're fine, Morgan.
What's this one? Hands up.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Curtis.
Sorry, I'm listening to point Matt.
Hey, at least you're listening, Curtis. We appreciate that. And
look at this.
Morgan,
This is
you too.
Yo, look at this. Okay, watch. See that? No, look at she writes about me. What the hell, Morgan?
I'm trying. Everybody's teaming up on me tonight, so
I think, Mike, it might be because she knows you personally. I don't know.
That's great, Sam.
So they're in the cave. They find Chester Copperpot with an unvalid ID.
How do we do this truffle thing?
Yeah, now you gotta shake your stomach.
Shake your stomach. Yep.
Let me see.
Woohoo! There you go. There you go.
That's the best I can do. Best I can do.
Oh man.
Yeah, John, we're gonna need a tutorial.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to attempt it, Morgan. That was my attempt.
Bravo.
Bravo. Okay. Anyway, so they're in the cave. Copperpot. Mikey was stupid and pulled the wire. Now they got to run for their lives, or they're gonna die.
But we skipped over the whole banging of the pipes thing.
Yeah, come on, Johnny.
Okay, so I remember Mouse said something about they have to be noisy or whatever for the pipes, but what was his reasoning? I can't remember.
Because he said, "Oh, that these pipes have to lead to a foundation somewhere." Now, my question is, he has the knowledge of this, the knowledge of this construction, but he doesn't have the knowledge of, this is a stick of dynamite, not a candle.
Right. I mean, to be fair, his father's only a plumber. Like, his father's not a pyrotechnician,
Do any of you guys have the special edition Goonies thing that came out?
John probably does.
On DVD?
I got the 25th anniversary box set Blu-ray set, so.
Yeah, it's the one it's like thicker. It's like that thick or whatever. Yeah, all right.
I don't know it, and I feel bad because John actually asked me if I'd seen the Goonies prior to this last week. I'm like, yeah, I've actually seen it a lot of times. Like, it was a movie I grew up watching because, that's where my family's from.
Wow.
My family's been to the Goonies house, like, I personally haven't been there, but my family's been there.
Well, Mike can vouch for this. If you ever have a chance to, I don't know if you have a PlayStation 4 or whatnot, watch it in a higher definition, Blu-ray or 4K. It would blow you out of this world.
I do have a 4K TV.
So, because like the cave scene especially, the graphics are so much more enhanced on the remake versions of it.
But it's not a Blu-ray. It's not a Blu-ray, John. It's DVD, I think.
No, I have the Blu-ray of it.
Wait, oh, you mean other than the box set? Okay, got you.
Yeah, I have the box set that came with the Blu-ray.
Okay, so I added Goonies box set to the Train and Pops that I'm buying for Andrea.
Oh, and I'll message you my address now.
Yeah, why do I
found it on Facebook.
I have a note here. It says set 10 a.m. What were we talking about? I would have wrote down 10 a.m.
Sunday morning.
But why would I write that on the train pot? Why would I put this on the list of gifts for Andrea?
I don't know.
Because you wanted to call me at 10 a.m. on Sunday, apparently.
Okay, I'll write that
down. Okay, so Sam wanted to talk about them like banging on the pipes, pulling on the pipes. Now, the scene makes me laugh because I don't think this would really happen. Like, I don't think this is like a historically accurate scene, but I just think it's funny that the men are in the shower and their knobs just disappear, and that poor inmate that's just on the toilet and he gets launched up into the ceiling.
Well, if you actually watch the movie correctly, that's Troy.
Really?
Yep, it's Troy in the bathroom stall.
That one. Yeah, because they're at some like fancy club.
It's at Astoria Country Club.
Yeah.
Oh. See, I thought I was an inmate in the prison. So that's awesome. Like, that wouldn't even have crossed my mind to be like, oh, that's just Troy. I thought it was just an inmate like sneaking in a magazine, to sit and read while on the toilet. Like.
Nope.
That makes it so much better.
Because after he flies out of the toilet, he's like, "Daddy!" Guy's like a little baby, sorry. Go ahead.
And I like how that poor guy gets whacked in the face with the drinking fountain. Like, the dude just gets knocked out cold because, they're just tugging on the pipes. And then I like how Mal's like, it's reverse pressure. Like the dude's dad is a plumber. He should have known that this was gonna happen.
Yeah,
You know.
you would think.
Yeah, because he clearly knows. Oh, reverse pressure. Oh, so that must mean he knows what that is and how it's caused.
Right. So maybe he doesn't know as much about plumbing as he says he does.
I don't think he does.
Obviously. Yeah.
Well, because when he's helping his dad, he's not really paying attention to you.
Yeah.
So.
All right, what happens next? They continue on.
The waterfall.
They find the waterfall and they think, oh, this is it. This is the treasure, which when I first watched it, I was like, well, that was a short hurrah. Like, you've already found the treasure, you know, and then they come to realize, oh, it's not treasure. It is real money, but it's the wishing well.
Yeah.
And I think Mouth makes the deepest sentimental comment of, you see this coin, this was my wish, and it didn't come true, so I'm taking my coin back, you know? And, you know, obviously he's talking about his wish of, I wish the houses weren't being bought, you know, like, I wish we could stay here.
No, that makes sense.
I mean, it's obviously not the exact coin he threw in, but, like, he made a fair point of, well, this is mine, I'm keeping it, because I did throw a coin down here, and I made a wish that I wish we weren't being forced out of our homes, and now we are, so I'm taking my wish back.
No, I mean, I can see it. My friend Gary's in the building.
Yeah,
Which kind of
Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Which kind of implies that that he himself has thrown a coin or a wish in said well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, think about it. You're a kid, you know. Yeah, you might not believe that it is a wishing well, but if you had a coin and you saw a well, would you throw one down there?
Yeah,
I 100% would. Like, as a kid, you know, yeah, you know, even if I don't believe in, oh, well, if I, you know, like when you wish upon a star, you know, yeah, I'm going to throw a coin down there. Yeah, I might make a wish. Yeah, I know it's never going to come true. You know, like, I know it's not like a magical well, but it's like, it's the fun of it, you know, it's the excitement of, oh, I just threw a coin down in the wishing well.
Never say never. That's what I'm going to say.
See, I of course would, even today, I'd throw a coin in the wishing well. I'm the one who, I walk past those fountains there that have all the coins in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the courtyards, and I'd look in my pocket. Oh, do I have any change? Okay, flick a coin in there. Or when you're walking through the malls and you see those big spinning ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I enjoy watching the quarters go spinning around in there.
Now, would you be moral, if you will? Would you keep the coins down there, or would you keep them for yourself? Because, I mean, these kids are trying to find money to save their town. This is real money. And I mean, it's definitely not going to be enough to save the town, but it could be enough to pay some bills. You know, I mean, they're all going to have to look for new houses. They're all moving, you know, like, yeah, load up your backpack, you know, like, yeah, the money belongs to other people, belongs to the town or whatever. But like, me personally, I would probably take some and be like, it's here, it's money. Like, we, you know, we're struggling to pay bills. Like, yeah, let's help our parents out if we can.
I mean, what do you think, Mike? What would you do?
I don't know what I would do.
I mean, Andrew makes a good point about taking some of it, but I don't know. I just feel like if you after you realize what it is, you feel guilty taking it.
Mm.
You have that guilty conscience, like knowing after the fact, oh wait, this is a wishing well. Like, sure, like at first it's like, oh, this is just like money and stuff. We'll pocket it. But then you figure out where you're at. It's like, oh wait, never mind.
Right.
So
I probably wouldn't.
All our points. See, and I think that's just like, you know, as we learned last movie night that I'm a Slytherin, you know, like that just might be the Slytherin in me. Like, you know, oh, I see money, you know, like unfortunately, you know, like I know not to take it, you know, and I'll probably feel guilty, but it's like money is money and I'm not going to take it all, but I'll take some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I take maybe some of it. Yeah.
So, and then I already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to point it out anyway. So they find it the wishing well, and then all of a sudden Troy's there. Like, why is he there? I mean, we already know it's because it's obvious that they're near the country club, because why else would the pipes affect the country club? But like, why Troy? You know, like he's just conveniently at the same well that the Goonies are trapped under. Like,
Yeah, well, it just seems like he pops up in the odd most times that entire movie.
right.
Because, like, you see him driving Brandon off the cliff, and all of a sudden he pops up at the country club, and then all of a sudden now he's at a wishing well like nothing ever happened. Like, I get it, he's like one of the main people in that movie, but like, it's just weird how he pops up in these scenarios. So, Mike, Sam, you have any input on that?
I'm just thinking, I'm like, yeah, I know that they did it for the humor, you know, the whole bathroom scene there with the guys in the shower and the knobs disappearing, and then you know, and then of course Troy, you know, then of course Troy having, you know, the whole toilet just go through the ceiling, literally. Yeah, I know it was for humor, and that it would not ever happen that way. But you know, I think as a kid, you're laughing, but you know, as an adult, you're kind of like, did they have to go that unrealistic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see.
Mike, that background's kind of creepy.
I know.
all you see is Chuck's one eye and then peer over the window.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
It's good, leave it.
I'm messing around.
So now the next question, since we're back up to Troy and all that, if you had the chance, would you go up the bucket and say, okay, I'm done, I'm going home? Or do you keep pushing on?
You know, by now, you know, it's getting late, it's dark outside, you know, the kids are obviously fatigued, they're scared. With it being Troy, I probably wouldn't, because, you know, like Troy's it's Troy, you know, like you saw what he did to Brand. He's obviously not a nice guy, like he's one that can't be trusted, so I wouldn't trust him to get me up the well.
I would be worried that Troy would, you know, pull me up halfway or 3/4 way and then just drop it.
Right, or you'll get up to the top and he'll just push you down.
Yeah, that too.
What do you think, Mike?
I don't know. What did you say, John? I forget. Sorry.
I said I'd keep going. I'm invested in this. Like we're making progress. I keep going.
Yeah, I keep going too. I think the adrenaline would be high.
Mm.
It definitely would.
Now, if Chunk was down there, I could see him saying, "I'm done." You know, because from the get-go, all Chunk did was complain. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I've missed lunch. I missed dinner. Like, you know, I could see Chunk taking the full opportunity of peace out.
Yeah. No, but who's to say that, say, Andy goes up the bucket first, if then somehow Troy just like destroys the bucket and nobody else can get up.
Right.
So, one way to look at it also.
Mm.
Oh, definitely, John. I agree. I agree with you.
All right.
I
So
mean, there's a whole
now,
bunch of scenarios here.
yep. So
All
now
right, John. Yeah, keep going. Keep the show rolling. Because I honestly, like I said, I watched the movie. I took notes up until, you know, up until now, because I'm like, I'm just done. I'm tired. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's one of those like you want to take notes, but it's one of those. It's a movie where like you just want to watch. Like it's so good. You're so in tune. Like you wanna be able to catch every little thing. You know, I don't want to be. Oh, I have to pause it now because I got to write something down, or oh, I missed something because I was writing something down. You know, so I quit taking notes.
How's this one?
Okay.
Mine, I don't know if you can see it, but mine is like a pirate flag, and then it says "Never Say Die."
You guys don't like my Goonie picture? Come on.
I
like
like
it. So
I like that one better than the chunk.
it.
the chunk was kind of creepy, but
All right,
um,
I'll take the show away, and we'll just comment as you go.
well, I'm trying. Was that Mike? Go ahead.
But no. Andrea, she said she ran out of notes a little while ago because she was tired.
Yeah. I took notes up until the well scene, and I'm like, I was just
So after the wall scene, like it's been a while. Like, I haven't watched it this month. I'm slacking, but Sam, you watched the movie recently. After the wall scene, they go back and they keep pushing forward.
That's when they run into. That's when the Fratellis start making their way down.
Mhm. But they have before that they have Chunk, and I wanted to make a comment of why are they torturing this poor little boy? You
Well,
know, and like
trying to get answers out of him.
because like he's
They're trying to
obviously-
fit in
and
his
he's
mouth.
telling the truth, you know, and like that's where the little boy who called Wool, you know, comes into play. Like he tells too many tall tales that even his truth, they're like, no, this kid's lying, you know, and then they want to freaking parade his hand. Like he's a little kid. Why are you wanting to put his freaking hand in the blender? You know, like
That's
all
not
you have
gonna
to do is turn that blender on and then scare the kid. Or, you know, let's just tie him up and put him by the other brother. You know what I mean? Like
Well, they're
scare
trying to
him
get
that way. You know what I mean? Like
they're just trying to get answers out of him, and so them being ruthless people, as they are, they feel that that's what they need to do.
mm,
Yeah. And I think Chunk's character in that scene, like in a way, kind of builds character for being so tough, for not giving in his friends, telling him where we're at and all that stuff like that. Like prolongs like him becoming a more strong-willed character in that movie.
You're right. He discovers that his confidence. You know, it goes up, which is great.
and I like how he manages to call the police, and he's trying to tell the police like, hey, this is what's going on. And, you know, again, the little boy cried wolf way too many times, you know, and they're just like, whatever, this, you know, it's just one of your fictitious tales that you're telling.
Yeah, well, and that's why the cop doesn't believe him at first, but then the phone cuts out, and he's like, "What?" So he's like confused.
Yeah, and then he starts to get a little bit concerned.
What up, Gary?
But yeah, that whole wonder scene was actually kind of funny in a way. Because he's like spitting out, oh, one time in third grade, I puked and I puked everywhere. Like,
Remind me the actor's name of Chunk.
Jeff Cohen. So
I think that's who I read the tidbit about. How when he was crying, he actually was thinking about his grandma, and his grandma was on her deathbed at the time of filming, and those were real produced tears. They weren't fake tears.
I can believe it. He's also, if you look at the cast nowadays, he's the one of the ones that have changed dramatically since the movie. He's lost a lot of weight. He's looking a lot better. I think he's just getting back in acting like Data. The guy that plays Data is like, it doesn't even look like Chunk anymore. So,
okay, so after the well, the Fratelli start to make their way down.
Well, at first they don't like they can't get an answer out of Chunk, but then all of a sudden, fly out of the fireplace.
Yeah, I remember now. And
so
they're like the kid's telling the truth.
Yeah, and then Chunk being Chunk yells, "Mikey, run!" Like,
Sam, you just watched it again, right?
Yeah.
So these scenes should all be fresh in your mind.
Yeah. So when they tie up Chunk put him in that room with Sloth. You see, of course, I think it's funny how you go from this Chunk's afraid of him and starts jumping around in his chair, and he's like this in his chair, and Sloth is watching his pirate movie or whatever, which of course is good foreshadowing to what's going to happen at the end of the movie.
Mhm.
But you see Chunk or Sloth starts laughing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Jeez, mister, you must be as hungry as I am.
yeah, and then then you get the whole throwing the Babe Ruth and ripping the chain out of the wall, and and then they just sort of become, before they even like leave the room, Sloth is like, Sloth love Chunk. Before they even leave the room.
Mhm.
And then of course by the end you get to, Chunk is like, Sloth, you're gonna come live with me now.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
as he's handed a Domino's pizza.
Yeah, as he's handed the Domino's pizza.
Which, if you're a Goonies fan, you celebrate Goonies Day by watching the movie and ordering Domino's pizza. I do it every year. And I eat the whole pizza myself. I'm fat.
I can't do that. I used to be able to. I can't do it anymore.
Hmm.
I can't. I can eat a whole pizza over like 3 days, but not in one sitting.
Well, maybe that's why I'll do a truffle. My fat will go all over the screen, and that'd be disgusting. But then after that, you see, then it cuts back to them all back in the cave, and they gotta go to the bathroom, and it's like the actual skull, like emblem built into the cave.
Yeah. And here's something that I want to mention. How did Andy not know she wasn't kissing Brand? Like, I get it. Her eyes are closed. It's dark. But how did she not know that was Mikey?
Well, you just said it. Your eyes are closed when you kiss, and it's dark.
I just think it's funny because like Mikey's shorter.
Yeah.
Mikey has braces. Like she should have been able to feel
She
those
even-
braces.
Well,
And
she even says
brings
that after
up.
the fact. Yeah, she says that after the fact.
Does Bran have braces? Yeah, and Steph is just there laughing.
Right.
Yeah, because by that point, they actually have one of the lights lit because they find lanterns
Mhm.
along the trail. So Steph's standing behind them laughing with the lantern because she can see what they're not looking at.
Right. I just kind of think it's funny. Like,
Well, and then plus when she grabs him, like they have completely different body builds.
right.
But again, your eyes are closed. You're telling me you can tell who you kiss with your eyes closed?
No, but I can definitely tell who I'm not kissing.
Right.
But that's the thing, though. She's never kissed Brand before the end of that movie.
No, but she knows his body figure, like the figure of his body. Like
Sam, you're in rocks in a dark cave. You can't see nothing, okay? You can't see nothing.
No, it's the
Fight me.
feel.
No, I know what you're saying, but in the movie's defense, it's dark. Plus, Bran could have slipped on a rock too. You never know.
Yeah.
True.
So that could have made Bran smaller.
Yeah, I mean, Andy does make that point of there's a hole here. I think that's where Brand was standing when I kissed him, because she says that to Steph, and then Steph just keeps laughing.
Because she knows it was not Bran.
Well, obviously.
So shortly after that, the Fratellis are making their way down. They've obviously caught up to the kids. And the iconic slick shoes, like that's the one invention of Data's that actually worked to his advantage.
Yeah. I mean, the climax music aspect leading up to that scene is one of the best scores in that movie, I think. When the Fratellis are all like racing through the tunnel.
Yeah.
I for some reason, I just love that score part of the movie.
But I won't call that the only time his contraptions work, because he did get saved from falling in that spike pit because of the little
The teeth.
the teeth. Yeah,
Yeah.
The pictures from hell.
something like that. Yeah.
But no, but then the Patelis wind up catching them as they're trying to. And Data's, why am I cutting out there? As Data's like walking across,
Mhm.
they're coming up behind. That's when the slick shoes come into play.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Now, is that part before or after the spike pit?
That was
After. After,
Okay.
because the whole spike thing is when they find that second room to go downstairs. So
right.
Yeah.
Because right after
That was right after the bucket.
slick shoes, they go in the skull shaped thing, and Andy has to play like the piano type thing.
yeah, with the bone piano.
Mm-hmm.
I
Now,
tried to
would
show
you-
you. There's a truffle shuffle for you, John.
I know how to do it. I'm just not going to do it. Not yet.
All right. Got you.
Even though
Now-
probably left by now.
What would you do if you knew the only way out is to correctly play this bone piano? How screwed would you guys be?
Not
Well,
screwed at all, seeing how I play the piano.
I'm the one that probably never has played the piano out of the four of us, so I guess I'm screwed.
See, like I haven't played the piano, but I know how to read music and I know how to read a piano key. So I think I could. It would take me a minute because I'd have to be like, okay, this is C, this is D, figure out what key to press. But I don't think that I would die. I think I could manage to make it.
Thanks a lot, Morgan.
Now, Andrew, I guess you should. Andrew, you have a new best friend.
I'm happy to be Morgan's friend.
I feel like Morgan would not be too sad if we changed this to the live from the basement with Andrea.
Yeah.
live from the basement with Andrea featuring John.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I mean-
Sam and Mike.
No. Featuring Master Chief.
Should I just cut myself out and say have a good night?
Thanks a lot, Andrea. Just tosses me away to the roadside.
Hey, I said featuring John and sometimes Mike and Sam.
She did
Ooh,
say that, I do.
sometimes.
I do.
What?
I
I've
do.
been here for both of your broadcasts. So be
You
quiet.
have, and I'm really proud because I like you.
Yeah.
You're fun to talk with.
Victory.
Well, I'm glad everybody.
Look
I'm
at
definitely-
Morgan. Look at Morgan.
Poor John.
Well, John, at least you're down the well and you can continue the treasure hunt. So
Yeah.
Good job, John.
there's some positivity there.
I'm just gonna do this and just talk like this the rest of the night. So there we go. Now you can just look at this.
I don't know how you even do that, John. I don't have any of that crap to do that with.
You just hit stop cam, but
Yeah.
John's nice and has his profile face.
That's right. This. I have no face for myself. I know.
I'm special, so we're just gonna do this so people can't see me actually watching anymore. So
So Andy's playing the piano. Data, as fun as he is, he gets grabbed by one of the brothers, and I love it. He's got like self-defense equipment on his body, and I'm like, that's just it's so funny. And out comes the arm, and it just punches the guy, and then
dude,
I mean, I probably would have freaked out like Data did, and I would have just like ran and jumped on the group of friends like Data did, which sucked for Andy because it made her play the wrong note, and then the whole floor collapsed.
yeah.
Every time you say data, I keep thinking of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
I get that. I get that.
I'm glad you got the reference. I'm just trying to be funny.
But then they all get nervous because they're running out of options. The floor's ready to sink out.
Mhm.
Wait a minute. Did they have, when they were doing the piano, did somebody have all the notes? Did they already have a clue to put in the
It was
right
on the
notes?
map.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was
it was
on
on
the
the
map.
map. And
That's right.
Mouth.
That's right.
Yeah,
Translated it.
because
I gotta watch
somehow
this movie
the kid with the mouth knows Spanish.
If you wanna go
Enough
back
to
to
make
that.
the whole enough to make the whole household, there, Mikey and Brand's, you know, a crazy mess, making her believe that they had drugs everywhere,
That's what I mean.
dungeons, and
Going back to the beginning of the movie when he's talking about those leading smash.
It does. It
the
does have
funniest-
drugs.
Oh yeah,
The Goonies is based on my life, so I don't understand what you're talking about.
so you have a house nanny called Rose that eats it too.
So it's on the map. Thanks, Sam. I forgot it was on the map.
it's on the map.
Thanks, Sam, for the save.
Andy successfully plays that last note. It's correct, and down comes the hidden path that they need to
Wait,
continue.
who
on.
tried to do the notes? I haven't watched in so long.
Andy.
Andy was trying to do the thing.
Andy
Did
was
he-
the only one who had musical background.
Yeah, that's what I was
she
okay.
played the piano when she was like 5 years old. She's rusty at it, but she knows enough to save their lives.
I remember my sister learning piano, so okay, cool.
Now, I have a question though. Do you think that if she wouldn't have gotten that last note right, do you think the whole floor would have collapsed and then the piano would have been gone and then nobody could ever find the treasure past that? Like, I wondered what happened. Like, would that just collapse and sucks to be you guys? Like, now the treasure is never going to be found?
I think
Go ahead, John. No, go
No,
ahead.
I was just gonna say I think it's possible because when the panoramic shot of that whole scene is that's the only thing that's left.
Mm-hmm.
So just saying, if you miss one more wrong note, we're all gonna be flat, and I think the whole thing would have came down.
Mm.
Just how the structure was built.
Could you imagine, like, you get that far only to be stumped by musical notes, and then you're like, well, looks like our journey ends here.
Well, you wouldn't have that opportunity because I think the whole thing collapsed. You would already be dead.
Right.
No, I think a port key would have appeared. They would have gone to Harry Potter.
So they save the day. You know, they get the piano music right. Now all of a sudden they're on a water slide. Like, that would be so fun. Like, I have to admit, that would be so fun.
You mean if they got the notes right, they go to Hurricane Harbor?
That's what happens, Mike.
I'm sorry. I messed up.
The thing drops down. There's a stone hedge that pops down out of the wall.
Okay.
And then they all go in it, and then the next thing you see, they're all going down water slides.
Do you think they have enough money to get into Hurricane Harbor there on them?
After they find the ship, yeah, they do.
Yeah, if Hurricane Harbor was around 1985, sure.
Yeah, you could probably buy the Hurricane Harbor with the gold they had.
Now, if all they have is the money from the wishing well, maybe one of them could get in.
Sam, it's awesome.
They want to donate the quarters to charities. That's what they're going to do with them.
I'll go with what Andrew said. I think they go to a water slide.
Well, that's what happens in the movie.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. No, wait, what?
Yeah, they go down like this really big water slide once they defeat the piano. They go down and it's just like a log flume and it takes them straight down. They fall into the water and lo and behold, One-Eyed Willie's ship, but they've made it.
Well, they don't see it right away because they're all embracing each other to make sure everything's all right.
Yeah, I see why people laugh at me behind my back because, yeah, that was dumb.
You're not dumb, though.
Thank you.
You just got to watch the movie, that's all.
I got to rewatch it. Because
it's on HBO if you don't own it, Mike.
He didn't do his homework.
I thought Andrew. That's true. I didn't do much. I'm sorry. Sam's right. But, yeah, he's exactly right.
I'm giving you an F.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm putting a 0 in my grade book, Mike.
Okay.
No late work accepted. No late work allowed in this class.
Okay.
Are you going to be here next Friday, Mike?
Yep.
We'll cover one of your favorite movies.
Yes.
So hit me up and let me know what movie.
Awesome.
I could do my research.
Well, I guess this is the Andrew show. I guess I'll make an appearance too.
What?
You run the show. You better be here.
I
thought it would be fun if, like, for the first, I guess, month, because there's 4 of us, like, we do at
Not
least
if Sam
one
has a date
episode
with his
of, like,
girlfriend, we
our
don't.
favorite movie, you know, because I feel like we've got to have a show where we're knowledgeable on the subject. You know, we can't keep doing shows where like, oh, only 1 or 2 of us know the show. You know,
No, I
so
agree.
I kind of thought that would be fun, like implement everybody's favorites. Like, I'm interested to see like what Sam's favorite movie is. I'm interested to see what Mike's favorite movie is. I mean, y'all learned my favorite movie last week was, you know, Harry Potter.
This week with the Goonies with me, so yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, see,
With Harry Potter, we might have to revisit again, but you know.
And we can and we will.
see, like that's tough. Like my favorite movie, or you mean a movie that, like, I like Grease, right? But my favorite movie, of course, the whole franchise, Star Wars, is my favorite movie of all time. So
Well, there we go. We can cover Star Wars. John's never seen it, but
No,
I know. Oh God.
Maybe
I
this
know.
could be the way to finally get him to watch it.
If my best friend hasn't been able to in the last 24 years, I doubt anybody will. Liz, if you're
Jack-
watching, I'm sorry.
See, I like Rocky movies too. I love the Rocky movie.
Rocky, you're good. So
Rocky movie.
now they come off the water slide, they're in the water, they're making sure everything's all right, and then behold, they turn around and boom, there's a pirate ship.
mm-hmm.
Maureen saying, nope, never will. She
And then there was
finally
silence.
Huh?
No, I said, and then there was silence.
No, they were just all like shocked and blown away that they found it. They all got excited.
Well, so interesting tidbit, if you're not already aware, so the kids were not allowed to see the ship while it was being built. So when they filmed that scene, that was the first time the kids saw the ship.
Really?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
awesome.
I
was
like
a
that because like you get that
realistic.
yeah, you get that realistic feel, like, you know, it's like, oh
Yeah. So now, in that scene, going back to what Matt Nixon was saying earlier about the octopus or no octopus, there's actually a deleted scene from that part of the movie when the kids were like walking up to the boat, that all of a sudden you start seeing tentacles in the water, and then an octopus pops out. And it winds up swallowing Data. So then, I forget who they get Data's bag, and he has a cassette player, one of those old cheesy 1980s cassette players.
Easy, my age, easy.
And they actually
They're
stick it in
called
the octopus's
Walkmans.
mouth.
mm.
Walkman
Yes, exactly.
cassette players.
Good job. Good job, Sam.
They put it in the octopus mouth and they play it, and then all of a sudden the octopus reacts and like fades away, and out comes Data.
Interesting.
So
That's interesting.
they didn't put it in the movie, but if you go back and watch the Goonies deleted scenes, it's like one of the most infamous deleted scenes from that movie. And people were like, "Oh, they should have left that in. That would have been amazing." I think it was dumb, but
Release the Kraken.
Mike's favorite scene
I
on
did
Wednesday
not
night.
watch the deleted scenes, so now that's something that I would be interested in watching. And obviously, I'm gonna have to own the movie. So
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part of watching movies on the streaming service. You don't get the extras. You don't get the deleted scenes.
You can find them on YouTube.
But yeah.
So, but yeah, that was one of the biggest things back in the day, is if they should have left that scene in or not. I think it was better off without it. But if you wanted a comedy aspect of it, that's why you put it in. So
I got you. Yeah.
all right, so now they're entering the ship. You guys have made it this far. Like, what would be your reactions to, you made it, you know, you did it, you found the ship, you found the treasure? Like, what would your reactions like initially be?
I'd be ecstatic. I'd be jumping up and down.
no, absolutely, I would be too.
Oh yeah.
But if you think about it, they honestly didn't find the treasure right away.
Right.
But then they're searching around the ship, and then they find this little secret room out of nowhere after someone fall. I think it was Data who falls through the floor again, if I'm not mistaken. So then they go down in the little covered way, and then there's another drop ceiling that you got, instead of going down, you got to go up.
Yeah, and then Mikey goes up first and finds One-Eyed Willie. And
he lifts up. I like how he lifts up the eye patch, and he, you know, like he shudders and he goes, "Well, that's why they call you One-Eyed Willie." I mean, like, what did he expect? Like,
Yeah. After
you know,
almost
like,
having an asthma attack.
I mean, like, I'm wondering though, like, was his intention like? I'm wondering if like the eye patch was just a gimmick and he just wanted to validate that, or was he like just generally curious, like, what does it look like without
curious
it?
what it
You
looks
know what
like.
I mean?
Yeah. I'd be curious. Like, is this guy really only have one eye, or is it like an actual legit thing? I'd be like Mikey. I'd have to investigate myself too.
Right. I would probably look under the eye patch as well. Because I mean, like, and again, you don't really know that that's really One-Eyed Willie. I mean, it's just a pirate with an eye patch. You know, like it could have been somebody on the crew.
Yeah, and yeah, if you sort of know your history with and things like that, there was a reason that pirates wore an eye patch. It wasn't because they were blind or lost an eye. A lot of times it was because they were preparing their eyes to be prepared for the dark.
See,
So
I
it would
I
have-
would have thought like depth perception.
Well, no, so that when they went below deck, where there weren't very many lights, they could still have some sense of being able to see.
You know, Sam, it's funny because a lot of people assume, and the problem with media is the industry is that you had so many of them turned over, and either the eye was damaged, closed. That's the problem with that. Your fact is correct, but I think that the media, not media, but you guys know what I mean. Like they've always like, oh look, I'm blind. Oh look, it's sealed. Oh, I think that Sam tells the truth, but people don't know it because of that. That's my opinion.
Do we need to do what grinds my gears segment? I'll tell you what really grinds my gears.
So they find One-Eyed Willie, and I thought it was really sentimental that Mikey takes his time to talk to One-Eyed Willie. I mean, obviously, the guy's been dead for quite some time. He's not gonna hear Mikey, you know. Like I really appreciated that. He's like, you know, I'm gonna pay my respects. Like, you know, the guy led us on a treasure hunt. Like I'm gonna accommodate him. Like, hey, I beat you. Like I solved your little game. Like, and then he just, you know, has a casual conversation. Like I thought that was kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Me, I probably wouldn't talk to, you know, a skeleton. I would have been like, cool. You know, this is One-Eyed Willie. You know.
Like I found you. Like now I'm just taking stuff.
Yeah, like don't mind me. Just gonna take your gold here. Don't mind me. Just gonna.
Someone's echoing.
Echoing? Am I echoing?
No, we're good.
No,
Is it good now?
we're good now. I don't hear nothing.
So, if you guys saw a skeleton, like a real actual skeleton, would you freak out? Like,
Oh yeah.
oh my gosh, dead body. You know, like it doesn't matter how dead they've been. You know how fresh the skeleton is. Like, I'm just curious. Like, would y'all freak out, or would you be like, that's kind of cool? Because I probably would freak out.
I mean, at that age, obviously you freak out a little bit, but
I'd freak out. At least
Freak
a little
out. Yep, freak out.
I think we're on agreement. And
So they find One-Eyed Willie, and they take as much treasure as they can, and then the Fratellis catch up. Mama Fratelli, you know, ties up the kids and starts, you know, man overboard. And then the iconic, hey, you guys.
that's actually how I was going to open the show. I chose not to. I don't want to blow people's ear out right away.
I love Chunk and I love Sloth. Like they're an iconic duo, you know, like.
Oh yeah.
And I love, and I don't know, like if Sloth was wearing the Superman shirt before coming out of the restaurant, or if that was just what he's always been wearing. But I thought that was kind of cool that he's wearing a Superman shirt and he's here to save the day. You know, he's Clark Kent. You know.
Yeah. I want to know, how do you think it smelled?
I don't think it smelled at all.
Being where it's at in the water, in a cave, I think if it smelled at all, maybe a little like musty.
Exactly.
I don't think. You know, like the bodies have been there a long time, so there's not going to be like rot, you know. But like, it just depends. Like, how long has that shit been there? Like, I mean, obviously, it's been a few hundred years.
So I'm texting Morgan on the side. She refuses to talk in chat till I do this. I try to do the truffle shuffle to impress everybody.
Hook it up, John. Do it.
Oh man!
If you want Morgan to chat, then you're gonna have to.
Yeah. She don't even talk at this point, and apparently all she wants to do, she's holding out the best friend to call you, apparently.
Just
I mean-
don't swear on your stream again, John.
No.
Yeah, don't do that shit, John. Oh God.
You get a free pass, Mike, because you already did the truffle shovel. Bravo.
I'm not
So
showing
sad.
my fatness. I'll keep my shirt on.
What good is that?
I like that.
Curtis with the coins for you there, Michael. Mike.
That's Curtis.
Mike's your next victim. There you go.
What? I already did it. What do you want me to do?
It is
I'm off
true.
the hook.
Mike did it. Mike did it before John ever did,
Yep.
A
and
while
he did
ago.
it willingly.
I know. I got undressed and everything.
I hope
Thanks,
that
Sam.
counts. I'm not trying to embarrass myself anymore. I'm
And
really
it, and
right
it,
in the face.
Oh, now it's Sam's turn.
Damn,
Curtis.
let's do it.
ain't happening. Ain't
Hey, I gave
happening.
it. Did it. You got to do it. Come on.
Nope.
Well, I'm not going to be a perv and say anything else. So.
Okay, so back to the
I'm gonna
movie.
take
we're almost to the end, guys. We're almost to the end.
Andrew's like, stop. Stay focused.
So, one comment, excuse me, that I had was, Andy's the first overboard. Only her hands are tied. So why is she just sinking down at the bottom? She has access to her legs. She can kick up. You know, like that's how swimming works. Use your legs. You don't have to necessarily use your arms. Like, I mean, yeah, the legs would take longer, but like she could easily float to the surface. Oh, thanks, Morgan. 9 3/4. It's the softest shirt that I own. I got it at Target.
Nice.
It's really soft.
Yeah, you know what? People naturally float to the surface, so I don't even know, Yeah, when you get in the ocean, you're taught to not doggy paddle. You're taught to just lay back like this.
Right.
So I don't know why she has no weights on her, so I don't know why she'd be sinking. I mean, I don't know.
It's not like it's not even like she's knocked out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
100% conscious.
Yep.
Well, her hands are tied, or her legs are tied. Like you really can't. Well, no, her legs aren't tied, but her hands are tied, so it's not like you can tread water.
No,
Yeah,
but you naturally, I guess you could, but you're naturally going to float up. The body doesn't sink on its own.
Oh, it is perfectly possible to tread water with no hands. It's actually part of the American Red Cross lifeguard training. You have to tread water without hands for 2 minutes.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry, John. I'm just saying.
So it's literally, but even if your feet are tied, you can still kick your feet and sort of do the mermaid kick.
Right.
You can. You just don't. The problem with the dog paddles, it wears you out, and then if you fall unconscious, then you're done.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was just one comment. Like, I know they did it for storyline purposes. You know, Bran's got to be the hero. He's got to go save his damsel in distress. But like, that just bothered me. I'm like, it's just her hands tied. Like, she can kick her feet. You know, why is she sinking?
Yeah. Hey, but then they finally get the first kiss, and she realizes, "Hey, Bram, where'd your braces go?"
Yeah, and then he goes, Mikey's gonna get it," and
But then the whole scene goes back on the boat. You got Sloth and the Mama Patelli. They start singing the cradle will fall. And they fall, and he grabs his face. Like he realizes what happened to
I only dropped you once.
him. I heard that story in my life.
now so they're fighting the Fratellis. Sloth, helped the kids escape. And all of a sudden, the kids are coming out of the cave, and then here comes all the parents. How do the parents know where the kids are?
Well, no, not necessarily. They get out of the cave, then there's two beach patrol officers right up on quads.
Mm.
So the cops see him originally, and then the one cop says, "Oh, they better call Herbie," because I guess they had at that point put out a missing child report or whatever. Because now you're going overnight into the next day.
I have a feeling that there's more time than it. There's definitely more time. There was probably a good hour between when they get out of the cave and when they've gathered up all the parents, made the call into town, gathered up all the parents, and driven all the parents down. Because then shortly after that reunion, you see the Fratellis come up, and with Sloth. So they had to have time to get themselves out of the cave.
Now, the real interesting part about that whole scene that not a lot of people realize is the two cops that pull up, the guy that's in the sunglasses that doesn't speak in that scene is actually Richard Donner, who is the director of the movie.
Whoa, it is Richard Donner? I didn't know that.
Richard Donner back in the day liked to have like a little cameo role in his movies. M. Night Shyamalan does it a lot now in his movies. Richard Donner's one. Huh?
Let's try every one of his movies.
Okay, well, Richard Donner was the one that started that, and the Goonies was the one that he started that with. So, should they have a reunion with the cast? Matt, they used to almost every single year. They used to have a meet and greet out in Astoria every single year after the COVID year. And then Astoria actually canceled Goonies Day, but they are bringing it back now that the pandemic's over. So they do have a cast reunion. So
that's cool.
Going back some, let's just say, Mom is hurt. They can't pay their house, and they keep being forced to move. But they can pay for help to pack the house, and the boys are unexpected to help. I mean, a good valid point. So, like, how can? Yeah, I mean, they can't keep the house, but they're hiring a housekeeper. Morgan's right. Like, how do they afford something like that? But Brandon, Mikey aren't expected to help at all. Good point.
Right.
Well, I mean, we don't see them expected to help at that point. We know that they're going to be moving within the next couple days, so their stuff may have already been packed.
Right. I mean, the mom does comment into. Oh, sorry, my camera fell. The mom makes the comment of, yeah, the house is being demolished, but I want a clean house before it's demolished. She's like, I'm going to have my house looking nice.
Yeah, Andrew's right. They do. She does make that comment. So,
but then that begs the question. We brought up the statue earlier. Oh, that's my mom's favorite piece. Then why wasn't it packed yet? If the house is going to be demolished the next day,
I don't think. Did you see the attic? That wasn't packed at all. No, the attic wasn't packed at all.
That is true. That is true. But then again, Dad didn't want anybody going up in the attic.
Yeah,
it was a sexual torture attic.
I almost wonder if they had the intentions of packing up, or if it was going to be one of those situations of, we're not going to bother packing up. We're just going to start new, get new furniture, new things, But like, they made it obvious, like, they can't pay their bills. They don't have a lot of money.
But in the same aspect, if you're losing your house and someone's buying out your property outright, you still get money out of that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Andrew, to answer your question, maybe they did decide, okay, we're just going to take the money that we have and start new.
Right, because like you get into that thought of, well, maybe they just want new stuff because their current stuff is going to bring back too many sad memories, and they don't want to dwell on the past. So maybe that was what, like, along the lines of thinking of, well, we're just going to let it all get destroyed and forget about it. Start fresh, start new. happy memories, you know.
Morgan is still right though.
Mm.
No,
Yeah.
well, absolutely. So
100% agree. And so it is interesting.
now, my biggest it's a question more than a concern. How do you guys feel the CGI was persuaded with the ship at the end, with the ship like sailing off into the sun, like almost like the sunset? Were you impressed with how they were able to pull something off like that, given the time period the movie was made, or was it cheesy?
I didn't think it was cheesy one bit.
Wait, I thought it's sunk.
No, the ship
Mm-mm.
breaks out
It
his kid.
spells out. Yeah. So the kids are
God,
talking to
I
the
have to rewatch
cops,
this
and
movie.
the officer like
Yeah, you do.
calls Chunk out,
Sam-
like, "Oh,
Sam's
you're
so
just
right.
telling a story," and then the cop like jaw drops, and the ship's sailing off in the distance. I didn't think it was cheesy one bit. I thought it played really well, and it looked good. Like visually, it looked good.
Given the
Especially for
fact
a
that
movie
it
of
came
that
out,
time.
given the fact that it came out in 1985, that's why I was just
Mm.
curious. Because there's been a lot of people that say, "Oh, that wasn't real looking," because all of a sudden, like everybody's off the boat, and then like the boat start going, the drapes come down, and all of a sudden, the rocks in the front of the boat crumble to the ground.
I mean, it obviously isn't realistic, but like for its time, like it was believable, you know, like there was a ship sailing in the distance. Like I thought it looked cool. Like who cares how it got there,
Yeah,
you know? And then just going off of like the ending again, like so the police come, the parents come. I think it's hilarious that Chunk's parents bring a Domino's pizza. They know their child. He's been out all night, you know, probably almost 24 hours. You know, he's going to be hungry. He's scared. So let's bring his favorite comfort food pizza. Like,
Product
I just,
placement.
well, that, and like, I just thought it was brilliant. Like, you know, their kids have been gone, presumably missing, you know, like nobody really knows what they were up to. And
But is
you
it-
know,
Did they sponsor that movie, Domino's?
I don't think so.
I just wondered because it's a product placement. I just wondered.
I mean, they might have some money in the aspect of it, but
Sorry, I cut you off, Andrew.
oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
I just wanted to know if maybe you guys knew that or not.
And I do want to know, like, so Mikey has a little bag full of jewels, and it's not a lot. How is that enough to save the town? Like, do you think maybe like there's just a lot of money value to those gems, or do you think that was enough for like the city to be like, now it's a historical town, we can't sell these houses?
I mean, it all depends on what the jewels are worth, I would say.
Yeah, if you just have opals and stuff like that, that's not going to sell for enough money. You actually have to have like gold or diamonds, something that's more rare.
Yeah, and like
Something
it
that's
was
more
just
rare.
like and it was just like a small handful of gems, you know.
Yeah,
like,
so I don't know. Yeah, I didn't see any. Like I said, I didn't see any diamonds. This is what I remember. It was all colorful stuff. I don't know if that's stuff like opals and rubies. I don't know if they can get enough money for that. I just don't know if they get enough money.
Yeah, I think it was all like emeralds and sapphires and
yeah. Like I was saying,
rubies.
same thing. Yeah, Sam has got a bunch more. That's right. Those things don't sell for that much money.
right.
They sell. Don't get me wrong. You can
now-
make a chunk of
okay,
change,
well-
but a whole town. I mean,
nowadays, no.
Oh, excuse me.
But back then, and it wasn't just that they were emeralds; it was also the way they were cut too.
Hmm.
I mean, Rosalie in that scene cracked me up. I lost my hero. Like, I was all excited and get shit.
Right,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "What's she saying? What's she saying?"
So
And
Pemba and Mouth like all trying to figure it out. Like, you know what she's saying, just say it.
I know I like how Mouth is like, wait, what's she saying? She's saying
Yeah.
something about
Yeah. Now all of a sudden he's having to stop and think.
Yep.
So
But then I think after that, the ship just sailed off to the sunset, and then they don't even like show you the after effect. Like
Matthew.
Gato-
He did it already. John did the truffle shuffle.
Yep,
I mean, he didn't bare belly it, but it's good enough.
I mean, we
So,
got Morgan to
I
talk to.
mean, I think that this is a good place to kind of wrap up for tonight. I mean, we're 2 hours and 15 minutes in. And sorry, I'm
Good
just
show.
getting tired. You know what I mean? Like it's been a great discussion. I feel like we covered the movie in great depth. Like, I mean, 2 hours and 15 minutes talking about one movie, that's fantastic. You know, like that just shows how we all had our own
Good point,
opinions
yeah.
and we all seem to enjoy. I mean, it's John's favorite movie for a reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, to wrap it up, though, like changing subjects, like going forward. So I've been much thought about this the last couple of days. Is like I think I want to do more interactive shows. So I think Tuesday nights going forward, with Sam's help, we're gonna start what we're gonna call Trib Tues. It's gonna be Trivia Tuesday, pretty much. It's gonna be an open.
Trivia.
It's gonna be open to anybody that wants to join. Be more interactive. Sam helping me set up a Discord channel. So if you haven't done so already, go on the page and follow the link to sign up for our Discord.
I can't if I could John, I can't add into the chat for some reason. Like
What?
it won't let me type in the chat, but go ahead, get your Discord, drop it in the chat real quick.
Yeah. I mean,
That
I
way
might be able
people,
to.
that way
find
people
out.
can click the link before they leave. And
All right,
go and
Sam.
on that Discord.
I've looked up rubies, sapphires, and everything. No, they would not be enough money, even back in '85.
Really?
Yeah. Like here's one. It says that if it's at, where's that one at? Okay. It would be like exceptional. If you had one, it would be 10,000 a carat. So depending on how much big those things are, it would. So let's say it's 5 carats. It's only 50 grand. That's at max pricing.
Right.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to prove Sam wrong. He's right. Maybe the combination of those. But I just was looking it up what the prices were. So, Sam, I wasn't trying to prove you wrong. I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know if there was that much money. So please don't take that as I was trying to just do Sam. Okay.
No,
There you
yeah. You know, you think, okay, if they were able to get 50,000 piece, I mean, but you have to think that's $50,000
in 1985.
Yeah. So if we do that, let's see, dollars inflation.
Well, Sam, like I said, it depends on carat. If that thing's a 20 carat, like you said with the cut, that's a 20 carat super cut. Yeah, then you're looking at probably $1 million. Then it gets up way high. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So 50,000 in 1985 is equivalent to $137,000. So you're talking $137,000 a piece, and they were, you know, in today's money, you know,
Right, of course.
Thinking, yeah. But anyway, I don't know.
No, Sam, you're right, because if they're worth 150,000 now, I see what you're saying, Sam.
Yeah.
Back then, you know, I see what you're saying. What it would be today. So back in those days, you're buying houses or fixing up a town. I see what you're saying. I just want you to know.
When
I see
houses
what you're
were
saying.
only about 18 to 25 grand.
Yeah, exactly.
Not 250 grand.
Right.
So, but anyway, I know we're trying to wrap up. So,
Okay, sorry.
So I dropped a link in the chat for the Discord if you want to sign up and keep track of everything. Plus, when we start the Trivia Tuesday, you can also join in with that. And then next Wednesday, we're going to switch gears from Fantasy Bros doing it live to unveiling a new segment I have called not Fantasy Bros.
Retro video games.
Video Game Mania. We had mentioned it before. We're going to try to roll it out next Wednesday, where we have just a open discussion about different types of video games, the platforms, where they have come from, and all that fun stuff. So there are 2 new segments I want to try next week to have more people get involved. So
Look at this old game.
That's a classic.
It's like the box set.
So,
And don't forget, on Sunday, John is doing a special live show.
Yeah, I was going to ask you on the promo for that. Try to start
John,
that.
you were muted.
there you go.
I think we're going to try to start that show around 10:30, 11 o'clock, depending on when I get down to Washington. But that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing a live on location type of show. I already did it. Leave me alone.
I'm just looking at all this stuff. Sorry.
So,
Sounds good.
And then Halloween night is actually funny. Mr. Nixon has given me permission to live stream from his front yard. So Halloween night will be another live on location type of show. And I think Mike's trying to work something out with his neighbor to do his end of it live in
Yeah, my
Good for me as
neighbor's
well.
he's gotten more and more popular every year. We've had lines of cars come down here because he just does a fantastic job. Fantastic.
So, but other than that, you guys have any last words?
Have a great night.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
And-
It's been fun, and I think I like our themed nights a lot more than like just free for all. I feel like we get a better feel for like the show, and we're a little bit more like engaging, you know.
Mhm.
So I feel like these last 2 weeks have been really successful with our movie nights, and I look forward, you know, like it's my favorite thing to look forward to on Fridays now is I get to take part in this fun show and hang out with you guys, and
Wow.
you know, the videos are great. Like I love
Yeah.
I love all the comments, you know, like it's just fun, you know, like I never would have thought of ever joining, you know, like John asked if I would ever join, and I'm like, I don't know, and I'm glad I did it, you know.
Mhm.
We're
That's why I
glad to
wrote
hear.
this post. There's my
And-
post right there. Look, Andrea is shiz.
So-
And I think we should end with Goonies Never Say Die.
Amen.
Wait,
So, I'll see
Andrea
you-
has to write that.
It won't let me comment.
Oh,
Otherwise, I would.
boo.
So,
But if I leave, hold on.
she's gonna try to do it. Okay.
Sorry, I'll get rid of it.
There you go. There you go. So I'll see everybody Sunday morning
Wait.
live
Have a
from.
good
Yeah,
night.
oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, bye everybody. Love you.
Bye.
I'll see everyone Sunday morning. Mike will be here with me. So
Eh.
till then, enjoy some fireworks.
See.